Kampala, Uganda. On January 10, Uganda reopened schools after the longest closure in the world due to the coronavirus pandemic. For most students, it was their first time back in the classroom in nearly 2 years. When the buildings first shuttered, the Ministry of Education broadcast lessons on TV and radio stations, and some schools handed out printed materials. But this did not last due to lack of funding. So the estimated 15 million children affected by this closure put their studies on hold. Uganda's National Planning Authority in August 2021 projected that 5 million of them will likely not return to school. There are several reasons for the dropouts. The teen pregnancy rate rose significantly. According to a report released by the UN, in 2021, close to 645,000 teenage pregnancies were registered in Uganda between March 2020 to September 2021. And many poor children in urban and rural areas were forced to start working to help support their families. They turned children into laborers, and that was a loss, says Munir Safieldin, the UNICEF Uganda representative. It's not easy for a family that has relied for almost 2 years on child labor to give up that income and say to the child, now it is time to go back to school. Plus, in an economy pinched by the pandemic, many families cannot currently afford the fees, which start at about $135 per term for high-S. Children who are able to return to school have been promoted one grade level, a decision made by the Ministry of Education to guarantee spots for newly entering students. But many families and experts are concerned. Goretti Nakabugo, the executive director of Uwezo Uganda, a non-profit organization working to promote equitable quality education, argues that even before the closure, many of Uganda's younger students had not yet acquired basic fundamentals, such as reading and understanding a text. This is the time for us to rethink our curriculum, our teaching and learning, she says, because students who are unprepared for classes will only end up even farther behind. We sought the views of 6 teenagers living in Kamwokya, one of the largest slums in the capital of Kampala. They shared what they've been through the past 2 years and what they think about going back to school, or not. Kusemererwa Jonathan Henry had just started high school and made new friends when the lockdown started. We were used to the short school breaks, but this was too long. At the start, all I would do is sit at home and sleep, he says. Until I thought of a business idea that I pitched to my dad. His dad's financial help combined with his personal savings allowed Jonathan to open a fruit and vegetable stall. Before the lockdown, I never knew how to work and depend on myself, but in as much as the lockdown was challenging, I have